everyone. Thank you for joining us today on our Discover Chapman First Generation and Promising Futures programs. My name is Dr. Gabby, and I serve as the Vice President of First Generation and Promising Futures. So, welcome. I know it's a busy time of the year, and you're making the time to discover Chapman and all the great things that we have to offer. It's a great way to spend your time with us. So, again, I would like to all of you a warm welcome to today. So, we have a great program. Prepared for you with great people from across campus that have a lot of great information that we think that you will find beneficial and useful, and just great faces and names to put together if you have questions later on and you want to reach out to us. So I will have my colleagues introduce themselves in a minute, but if we can get our PowerPoint switched over, thank you. This is just, I'm going to go over a quick overview of what we have in store for you. So the purpose and introduction of our office, what is it that the First Generation and Promising Futures is all about, and the type of resources and support that our students and families can have from our office. In addition, we will be also talking about the Summer Bridge program and post report highlights. We had a fantastic program over the summer where our students get to join early before the semester starts, and we'll dive a little bit more into that. Our travel award, we have, like I mentioned, we have great resources. And this is a resource that I think is very beneficial for our students that want to study abroad. And we have financial contributions for that. We also will be discussing about our commuters and transfer students initiatives that are part of our first of our Promising Futures side of our programs. And then we'll discuss our National First Gen Week that just ended last week. We'll talk about those, and then the Cross Cultural Center that it's under the First Generation and Promising Futures department. So that's a quick overview of what we have in store. This is a snapshot of our team. This doesn't have our student assistants and our grad assistants that are a vital part of our team, but this is the full-time staff that we have here. Two of my colleagues are here in the event, so I'll let them introduce themselves. But I do want to bring two individuals that are not in the event with us today. Is Araceli Martinez, who is the executive director for our Cross Cultural Center, and Jackie Mai, who serves as executive assistant to the Office of the Vice President of First Generation Promising Futures. These are fantastic resource, incredible colleagues, and great resources for our students. But I'll pass it on to Misty so she can introduce herself, and then we'll go over to Athena Cuevas.
Hello, my name is Misty Livingston. I am the director for the First Gen and Promising Futures programs. Yes, that's me. That's what I look like without glasses on and hair down. I am so excited to be here with you all today to just fill you in on some more information on what our program does, and so you can get a better feel of who we are. I am a first generation student, college student, so I understand the challenges and I also understand the triumphs. So welcome.
Thank you, Misty. My name is Athena Cuevas. I am the Assistant Director for the First Generation and Promising Futures programs. I'm also a first generation student. And not only do I work here at Chapman full time, but I'm also currently a student. I am pursuing my doctorate in education, emphasis on leadership studies, starting my second year. I'm starting even though it feels like the semester is almost over. So it's great to not only be support here on campus, but also be a student. I am looking forward to sharing more about the different programs that we have, the resources that we have for all of y'all, and answer any questions that are lingering. I'll go ahead and pass it over to Dr. Gabby now.
Thank you, Athena. And I'll pass it on to Misty to discuss a little bit about the purpose of our office and the whole reason that we're here, basically. And it's for all of the students in our community. But I'll let Misty talk a little bit more about that.
Thank you. So first generation college students, those that identify as first generation college students on our campus, currently we have 1,677. So that is roughly about 10–15% of our population are first generation college students. So that's a significant number. We are here to help you with the transition into college. We also, so first generation, meaning the first person in their family to obtain a BA degree. We also help with support transfer students and commuter students. So it is very much personalized support, what you need. Not we don't blanket support students. We support students according to their own needs, and we provide a very supportive environment. Students can come into our office. We offer snacks. We offer a quiet place to study. We offer counsel. Sometimes students just want to come in and talk because they need something, and they can get that from us, and we will help them to navigate the experience. And I think we do an amazing job because, once again, we are first gen students, so we remember what it was like when we were going through this and navigating this educational journey. Thank you.
Thank you, Misty. So a little bit more of the overview of going off with Misty, what Misty just shared with you all. So here we're able to see that our programs do aim to enhance retention, graduation rates, and making sure that all students do feel supported and do have a successful time here at Chapman University. We do, again, support all students who are the first in their family to attend college. And then beyond that, we're able to see some of the services that we do offer through different workshops and events. We also offer academic support. So we do have partners across campus, like with the Tutoring Learning Center, where we are able to come together and have some study sessions, study groups, and have different skill workshops. We also offer our events are surrounded personal development, such as leadership training, counseling, and wellness resources. We want to make sure that students also feel that the college transition has been well supported, and that is by supporting different programs, our early outreach initiatives that we have, meaning that we support some of the high schools and organizations around the community and come and show what Chapman has to offer. And then we also have community building. So that means that creating a sense of belonging and peer support through different events and student organizations. Our department also supports and partner with student organizations, and that could be from hosting an event in our space or us being present at the different events that are happening. And of course, the resources that we do have, which are access to a financial aid guide, career planning, and of course, our tutoring services that we continue to share about. So we do understand that as first generations, there is multiple challenges and obstacles, but we are here to support and making sure that those obstacles are, well, those barriers are taken down and are able to have a successful time within your college journey. Oh.
Hope you can see this snapshot. This is a 2024 snapshot of our student population, specifically our first gen. And what you'll be able to see, and you can find this on our website as well, if you would like to review it a little bit more in depth, and if you have questions, by all means, please feel free to reach out. But you can see here, it talks about it will show the different top majors that most of our students that are first gen go into. About 25% of our first gen student population are going into the business school. And then the other one, it's a little bit smaller, but it's about 10% going to our psych major and so on and so forth. So you'll start seeing where most of our students are going as far as the colleges and the degrees that they're pursuing, but also how the breakdown in demographics. The majority being in the Latino, Hispanic, but also our white population, Asian population, and so forth. So what we want to show here is the breadth of the different students that we have from different backgrounds, from different areas around the world, not just from the United States, and also our retention and graduation rates. Our first gen students graduate at pretty high rates, and that's something that we're very proud about, not only because they're getting the academic support in the classroom, but also the things that they're getting the support outside of the classroom, which is where we come in, and creating that community for our students, helping them navigate the space for them to be successful. It's not just about having the students start here at Chapman, but as you can see, it's being and taking that journey across the board with our students to graduation. And even after they graduate, we're still very much involved with our alums, and supporting them when they need support, but also engaging them because they want to give back. They want to be a mentor. They want to share where their journey has taken them since graduating, and also providing opportunities other places of employment through internships or part-time or full-time jobs. So our alumni, it's pretty engaged, and we continue to engage them, as we start seeing the interest of our students, and we try to really bring those that are can make meaningful connections with our students. So this is a little snapshot that you can see. Again, like I mentioned, this is in our website that you can easily access, and we're publishing this every year. This is the first one. This is actually the second one we publish, and this was for 2024, and then we'll have the 2025 coming up next year. But I think it provides a pretty good picture of our student population and how they are doing and where they're going, and also the reasons why they decided to pursue a college degree. I'll stop there. And then here we have a great I'm sorry, a video of our students that participated or attended Summer Bridge program. Like I mentioned, it's a program that takes place right before the beginning of the semester. It has a lot of great perks for those that participate, but I'll let the video and the students speak for themselves.
One thing the Summer Bridge program taught me, or that like it showcased to me early on, was the amount of community that we had here at Chapman. Coming in as a freshman, I had gotten the email actually to come and participate in Summer Bridge. However, for whatever reason, I didn't want to come to school early. I soon realized during orientation week that I should have, because during orientation week is when I met all of my friends here in the Cross Cultural Center, and they had all participated in Summer Bridge program, and they had known each other from then. So they kind of already had that little tight friendship before, until me and my other friend Evan came along. But then I did Summer Bridge as a leader the following year, and it was really nice because I was able to like help build that community for those incoming freshmen, just kind of give them a familiar face during orientation week whenever they stepped into the Cross Culture Center.
I'm glad I participated in the first gen Summer Bridge program because it helped me get my feet wet before jumping into the deep end of college. They put us through a lot of activities that helped me learn about Chapman University and college itself that I would have never thought of and that my parents couldn't answer.
I also had resources when needing to apply jobs or needing recommendation letters, since I already knew those people ahead of time. I made a lot of great friends. It was helpful having someone that you already knew from the summer bridge.
And also moving in earlier was a big bonus. I had so much anxiety about what it would be like moving into the freshman dorms. I've never shared a room before. That was also like a whole thing.
I highly recommend it. If you have the opportunity to do this, do it. This will change your life. You will make great connections with friends, just peers, and just mentors. So yes.
So as you can see, we have a phenomenal Summer Bridge program, and we highly encourage all that are able to participate. That was a pre-Summer Bridge program. This is the post-Summer Bridge video, and it was filmed. Both videos were filmed by our phenomenal students. So just take a look at the Summer Bridge experience. So as you can see, Summer Bridge is a life-changing experience. Many of our students have gone from Summer Bridge to becoming best friends. So I'm going to turn it over to Athena.
Thank you, Misty. Yes, so as y'all were able to see, Summer Bridge, it's the start. It's a pre-orientation. It's 3 days, and it happens right before the start of orientation. It is a time when students are able to come to campus earlier, get to know more of the community. And then on Friday, usually it's our Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but our Saturday, we have our family day. So we also invite our families to spend the whole day with us and getting to know more on resources and services that we have. Here we have a Summer Bridge attendees evaluation. As mentioned before, all the different resources and events, especially our program, is also important for us to receive feedback and see how we can continue to enhance the program. Last year, well, this year, we did have 130 applicants, students who applied to be part of the Summer Bridge experience, and we had about 100 students that did show up for the 3 days. Most of them really found the academic advising and the resource fair very, very helpful as they get started. And then also our families were also able to provide feedback for us. We have a parent talk where we do partner with a faculty member the faculty's members' expertise is family engagement. So there's a whole session on for parents and their family members of what does it mean for my child, for my student to transition to college. So that was one of the sessions that parents really enjoyed and found very helpful. And of course, we also have student leaders. So not only do the students transition and give touch points to all these different resources, but also get to meet students who are currently at Chapman, who are sophomores, juniors, or seniors, that then become their mentors. So they're with your students, with the students, incoming students throughout the whole time. And that's how the community continues to enhance and grow. So again, we do have this data. If you are a parent, family member, student who would love to have a copy of this, please let us know.
Another thing, if I can add really quick here, is the opportunity for students to develop their leadership skills. Again, those are a lot of the different things that we can foster and we help our students develop outside of the classroom, and is through their involvement in the different programs. As many programs that they want to support and they're able to create and sort of develop those extra skills and put those skills that are learning in the classroom into practice, and a space where they have the support and professional staff walking them through the whole process.
Okay, and this is one of those fabulous things that we do offer to our first generation college students to encourage them to study abroad. We partner with the Global Studies Department to help students study abroad. And the travel award is available. It's 50% of your travel costs. So it can really help make a difference with your ability to be able to go study abroad or not. And now we'll share a student who went to study abroad, Idali, class of 2025. She went to study in Spain and she utilized the travel award resources. She loved it, and she was able to enjoy Spain without worrying about financial costs.
Thank you, Misty. So now I'll go ahead and review a little bit of our National First Gen Week. As mentioned by Dr. Gabby, we just finished our wonderful week full of programs this past week. So we had our Monday all the way to Thursday different events. We started off with the kickoff, welcoming everyone and just kind of getting the celebration started. We did a social media campaign on what does it mean to be a first gen or a first gen supporter. As we all know, it does take a community to go through the college journey. On Tuesday, we had a wonderful partnership with the Office of Financial Aid where we hosted our first gen talks, financial wellness sessions. There was 2 sessions, and basically during this time, we all came together and the coaches from the financial wellness coaching program were present and were able to bring on dialogue and discussions and conversations of finances. What does it mean to budget? What are some tips and tricks that we're able to share with one another? We moved on Wednesday with our celebratory brunch, and this is a time that we had a wonderful keynote speaker, the Dean of Atala College, Dr. Dean Miller. And what happened during this time is we were also able to share a little bit about our own personal story of being a first generation student or first generation supporter. And we also had our annual first gen group photo. This does happen at 11:55 because we are mindful that there is classes going on. So usually classes are done at 11:50. We'll take the picture at 11:55, and then those who have class at 12 can then rush over to class. So trying to capture as many as possible. And the picture does happen in front of the libraries, which is of the heart of campus. And then finally, we had on Thursday our first gen book club launch, where this semester, well, this year, we are going to be focusing on educated a memoir, and we'll be starting a first gen book club this semester. So during that time, we were able to dive a little bit deeper on learning about the author and different themes that the book is going to bring on. So this itself and seeing the pictures here lets us know of different events, especially for our first gen community that we have for a week long. Moving on for our commuter student initiatives, as mentioned, this is another area that we also focus on, and we're starting to focus on this semester. We had a commuter focus group where I was able to meet with a group of commuter students and from different ages as well as different class standing, and kind of sharing what does it mean to be a commuter, what would they love to see from Chapman, what kind of resources, what kind of events would they like to see. So I was able to really dive a little bit deeper on sharing or listening more from our student population. And this week, actually on Thursday, we will be hosting our first commuter event, which is our meet and greet. It is on Thursday from November 13th. And this time is going to be for students to just pop in, grab a snack, get to know one another, get some homework done. But again, just starting to provide some spaces on campus and dedicated time for our commuter population.
Thank you, Athena. And this year we also celebrated National Transfer Student Week. We hosted a focus group to hear from transfer students to discuss their needs and how best to support them. And a lot of what they said was visibility. So we hosted the National Transfer Student Week to highlight via social media some of our transfer students, as you can see, some of their experiences and journeys. And then we also held a mixer so that we can just have that community space for our students to get together and get to know each other.
One thing that I would like to add as far as the book, we are going to start reading. The book is provided to our students, anyone that wants to participate, free of cost. It's free, so they don't have to buy another book. We understand that textbooks can be expensive, so we will not put that on the students, and so our office provides the materials for them. One of the things that I want to talk about is a cross-cultural center and the great benefits that come from that space. It is a sort of one-stop shop, if you will, resource that provides referrals to different areas across campus. So that students are coming in and sharing some of their stories and things that they need support in, we refer the students to the appropriate resources on campus if the cross-cultural center is not it, right? It's almost like a way away from home, a home away from home, if you will, where students can gather. It's a beautiful space, can gather and hang out, have their lunch. We have a little kitchenette that they can utilize to keep their lunch in there, warm up their lunch, have their lunch in there, but also 4 different rooms that students can book and use to study or have meetings with other groups, students, some that are leaders or are participants of any clubs across on campus. They're able to use it, book it for their meetings. Many of our students use that space for that, but they also use it to study. And we also have speakers and events that we host there that are culturally relevant. And again, this is to expose our students to different cultures, but also to learn from each other and share and see our sort of our background and our roots, share with other individuals. Do you have to be part of that celebration or that culture that is being celebrated? No, you can come and enjoy and learn. So we sort of bring it to the students. Everyone is welcome to all of the events that we host. In addition to that, we also have our office or our center opened different times during the semester, but we specifically try to keep it consistent Monday through Thursday from 8 to 10. And then Friday we close a little bit earlier because most students are not on campus anymore. They have gone and enjoyed the weekend. And on Friday, so we close at 5. We open 8 to 5. And we have weekends available at request. So if students need to host an event or they need to meet, we just need to find out as early as possible when they're going to need it so that we can open the space and have a staff available to support them. Our location is pretty easy to find. We are where most of the student affairs offices is. That's in Argers Forum. It's on the 3rd floor. It's a beautiful space. And then we have a very nice mural outside of that space that next we should have included that in this slide, but that one was designed by faculty and students. So student input is very important in a lot of the work that we do. And so that space was created by them and for them, and it's sort of seen a representation of their culture, of their heritage, and I believe it's beautiful. And we hired a muralist that came in and worked with them to get this done. But that's a little bit of what happens at the Cross Cultural Center, aka the CCC, as it's known across campus. I would love to answer any questions that you may have, but I'm going to pass it on to our esteemed colleague, Jonathan Charles, who works in the Office of Financial Aid, and he will be providing some great information for all of you on things that you might have questions as it relates to financial aid and what he's able to provide. He's a great partner to us. Jonathan?
Thank you, Dr. Gabby. As Dr. Gabby mentioned, my name is Jonathan Chartis. I'm the Assistant Director in Financial Aid. I oversee access and advocacy initiatives, and I'll also oversee our frontline staff. So the face of the office is my team. A little about what we do in our office. Let me see if I can share my screen really quickly. Okay, let's see, share. Um, So a little about our office, what we do. We receive the results of your FAFSA or your CADA, so free application for federal student aid or California Dream Act application, whichever is applicable. And we generate your various awards. We process and disperse those awards, and we process loan applications, whether that's federal student loans or private loans. And we also, what's unique to California is that we have a financial literacy program. Not many universities and colleges have that, and I'll dive deeper into that program. That's the overview of what we provide. Just so you know, we're going to do a deep dive session on Thursday, November 13th from 5 to 6 p.m. and it's going to be virtual. So my boss is going to present everything you need to know specifically in financial aid. But if you have any questions in general, I'm happy to answer them. But for now, I'll talk about the program. So the Financial Wellness Peer Coaching Program is housed under our office. I oversee it, and the mission really is to empower students to make financially informed decisions throughout their time at Chapman University and then when they graduate. And so what does that mean? Well, the peer coaching program, it's not taught by me or any other administrator or faculty member. You have your own peer coach, so it's your fellow students that you are matched with, and they inform you of important financial wellness topics. As you can see a little bit about them, we have students ranging from different graduation years, different majors, and a little about their biggest accomplishments there. The topics that they go over are six main topics, and again, I wanted it to be intentional, right? These are topics that many first generation students are not able to access or were given the opportunity to learn during their elementary, middle, or high school years. And so we wanted to provide that opportunity to learn and have that foundation to make, again, more informed financial decisions. So budgeting and saving, they go over what is wants versus needs, right? To build a monthly budget or weekly budget. How much should I save? Am I getting a certain amount per month? Investing 101. So, what is investing? What are our options to invest? Credit management, the difference between debit card versus a credit card, checkings versus savings accounts. What is a credit score and how is that used? And what are the components that make up a credit score? Student loans and understanding your financial aid offer. Some of us are interested in and obtaining scholarships. So the coaches go over different search engines, different prompts that are very common for scholarships and preparing for the future as well. So, what is retirement? What is a 401k? When you get hired? So topics like these that our students go over. And really, what Dr. Gabby, Misty, and Athena were mentioning is that intentional partnership they have with different offices within Chapman University. And we have a really close partnership with them, my office with them, and we participate in Summer Bridge as far as tabling, so I'm always there. I also present a deep dive on financial aid with our colleagues from the Student Business Services Office, which handles the billing and the payment plan. So we do a joint presentation for all of you who decide to attend and participate in Summer Bridge. And I also do a deeper dive on the Financial Wellness Program and how you can register for that program. As Misty, I believe, mentioned, they do have a first generation travel award, and part of that award is a collaboration with my office. So we work closely on making sure that It's an intentional partnership so that students understand how to budget, or what if they take out an additional loan, what does that entail, and what are the payment the requirements to pay back that loan, what are their options, and how can it be used. And as Athena mentioned, we in First Generation Week, we do a financial wellness session, a day where our coaches have a candid talk about financial wellness. So these are the kind of the things that we've done in partnership with each other. Additionally, we've had our inaugural financial empowerment ceremony last year. This is a direct partnership between my office and the First Generation Promising Futures office. And so we are there to fully support you all within this journey that's called, navigating college, right? Which can be very scary for a lot of us. I'm a first generation student myself, and I'm a double alumni from Chapman University, so I totally understand how that may feel. And so, with the financial empowerment ceremony, this is an opportunity for you as a student to bring your champion, whether that's a friend, a family member, and celebrate you. Celebrate your advocacy to obtain financial awareness, so that we can better not only ourselves, but we can also better our families, and really
Yeah,
good information that we learn.
for sure.
And, and so
One of
these
the
are one of the things. And then this is the post program survey data. So we found that through our partnership, we've improved financial confidence. Students are more able or more willing to go to our office if they have financial aid questions, if they're dealing with a financial emergency or situation. I work closely with this office to make sure that we have a really good connection in those cases. And again, be taking control of your finances as well. So that's a quick overview of the program and what our office does. Do we have any questions in general about my office? I know that I relayed that we're going to have a deeper dive in financial aid on Thursday.
Thank you, Jonathan. We're going to have them put any financial aid questions that they may have in the chat so that we can continue the presentation.
Perfect.
Thank you. Now we are going to have the opportunity to meet with some students. So Rusty Henry and Erica Lozano are going to share their student experiences. Let's see. I'm going to ask Rusty. Please share why you chose Chapman University.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Hello, everyone. I'm Rusty. I'm a junior here at Chapman, and I'm a liberal studies major, elementary ed minor. And the reason I came to Chapman, quite simply, was community. I really, I toured and I got some information about Chapman, and it made me really kind of have Chapman as my only choice, because small class sizes and hearing from representatives from the school about how really you're a part of the community as soon as you're a student, that really, there, no one's lying. As soon as I got here, Summer Bridge was my first experience as a student, and it came with, like they said, like several friends who I see every day, not even in my class, but familiar faces on campus. So for me, it was all about the community that and the networking that I could have for my future career. Because you can learn how to be an educator probably anywhere, but I think that the quality of how I'm learning here from educators one on one who know my name instead of being one of 85 or 200 in a class, that was everything for me. So for me, it's all about that Chapman community, and it is magical.
Thank you, Rusty. Rusty is one of our transfer students from Santa Ana College, and he has jumped right in and become an integral part of our community. Erica, same question. Please share why you chose Chapman University.
Hi everyone, my name is Erica Lozano. I am currently a sophomore. I am a double major. I'm double majored in business administration with an emphasis in finance and also accounting. I also have a minor in Latinx and Latin American studies. There are a couple of reasons why I chose to come to Chapman. One of the biggest reasons for me personally was financial aid. I don't come from a family that has a lot of support financially, so I know that when Chapman offered me a very generous financial aid packet, I knew that that was going to be a really big help, and it was one big thing that I took into consideration. Another thing was something that Rusty had touched upon is small class sizes. I really like that we get that personalized education. It matters a lot. I know a lot of friends of mine that go to other universities where the classrooms are around 80 to 100 students. It's very difficult to have that relationship with a professor, but for me, being in these smaller class sizes that are up to 30, 40 students, my professors know who I am. I'm able to make really good relationships with them that only benefit me now. Other than that, also first generation support. I'm a first gen student, so I knew that all of this different support on campus was one thing that really motivated me as well. It made me feel really welcome. Also is just the programs. Personally, as somebody in the Ardros Business School, I really valued all the different programs that are offered that will help me further my career in entrepreneurship and just all the various resources to help me in my career.
Thank you so much. Let's go. We're gonna have both of you answer this question. I'll ask you first, Erica. What are you involved with on campus?
Yeah, I'm involved on a couple of various different things on campus. I'm the events coordinator for Chapman Baile Folklorico. It's a new recently found club. We've been established for almost 2 years now. I coordinate all the events. I also dance. I'm always a part of dancing in their performances. I'm also part of accounting society as an accounting major. I really enjoy being a part of that to be able to network, and it's really benefiting me right now in my career, being able to get those internships and other opportunities of learning. Also, I'm also part of the Chapman Entrepreneurship Organization. I'm currently working on a business plan, and the Chapman Entrepreneurship Center that's on campus as well is a really good resource that has been helping me in my process of making that business plan become a reality. Another thing that I'm involved on campus is I work on campus. I am an SI leader, which is a supplemental instruction leader for the Tutoring and Learning Center. Kind of to put it into simple words, I'm a student assistant and a tutor kind of combined into one. I help with all the different econ classes here offered at Chapman, which is the macro and micro classes. That's a little bit of my main things that I'm currently involved on campus.
Thank you, Rusty. Same question. Can you share what you're involved with on campus, please?
It depends. Do you have anything else for me to be involved with? Um, for me, I have two jobs outside of school. I'm a commuter, I'm a working student. So when I'm able to dedicate time to anything on campus, I try to do it. Basically, as soon as I get an invite, I request the time off of work. So I try to be heavily involved with basically anything the First Generations House has, because my first impression of Chapman was Summer Bridge and that first, welcoming environment. I have two on-campus jobs. I am a double student assistant, one's at the Cross Cultural Center that you heard about from Dr. Gabby. And then I also work with Atala, which is my college for education, as a student assistant. So I like to stay busy. Um, I'm not in any formal clubs on campus because of my work dedications, but I am big on especially working with the CCC. Anytime there's an event happening, I try to get involved and ask my friends who wants to be involved. Because if there's one thing I've learned on campus, it's even if you're not part of the group, everyone wants you there. So again, that community piece. Um, so for what I'm involved on campus, it's really anything I can be, but being a student worker and looking around for the signs for what's next, because I'm trying to get in an internship, a fellowship. Really, again, once I get those emails, which there are a lot, I just see how I could work it in because this place is a treasure trove of stuff to be involved with.
Thank you so much for sharing. Erica forgot to mention that she's one of our fabulous PFL Summer Bridge leaders as well. So I'm going to ask Rusty, since you're on the screen, what did you learn once you got to campus that you didn't know prior to attending?
I did kind of say this, but my biggest thing coming into campus again was community. I wanted to be involved. I wanted to get to know people, and um, everyone was telling the truth. There is always something. There's always something with food involved. There's always something with some sort of interest that you have. There's a club for it, or you can make a club for it because someone here is interested in it. Um, and I heard that, and I heard that at different college campuses about, oh, you could join this club and you'll find your community, but your community is everywhere here. There's so much to do Monday to Friday, sometimes on the weekends, there's always something. And I think that for me, um, everything that I hope for with community has come back, and it's only been a couple months. I haven't been here that long. Um, but through that time, every day there's something new for me to try to request work off so I can attend. So I think what I didn't know was that the opportunities really are endless, and there's so much fun and exciting things that we have students from all around the country, all around the world, and those experiences bring things that they want to do to Chapman. So for anyone who's thinking about it, I mean, if you're interested in something really peculiar, there's probably a club for it or there's interest.
Thank you, Rusty. Same question, Erica. What did you learn once you got to campus that you didn't know prior to attending?
Well, there's so many things that I've learned as soon as I got onto campus. I mean, I had visited Chapman at all their preview day events and then Summer Bridge, but I think as soon as I became a student and was actively here, I will say there are like top three things that I learned when I get asked this question. The number one thing is that kind of academic reality check. That transition from high school to college is no joke. I know a lot of people emphasize it a lot before you make that change, but the reality is that nobody is lying to you. They're being very honest when it comes to it, that the dynamic between professors changes. You have a different relationship with them, and it's kind of a more faster pace as well. A lot of things to kind of accommodate yourself to. I will say that it is not something that I completely struggled with. I don't see a lot of students struggling with, but I know that as soon as they get to college, it's the one thing that they kind of thought that would stay the same, but kind of transitions a little bit. Along the lines of that is also kind of time management. As somebody, me personally, that has a lot of things that I'm involved in and kind of have dedicated myself to. Time management is key, and our time management looks very different from when it was in high school to now as well. So, making sure that you know what your commitments are and how you can keep up with them is very important. And kind of the last thing that I really like to share that I learned during my time here is you have to be a huge advocate for yourself. Chapman is amazing because a lot of people are advocating for you. A lot of the people that I met on here are always advocating for me and looking out for me. But strongfully, anywhere that you end up or anywhere you go, you always have to advocate yourself, especially in that college culture, because we're all adults. We're all kind of expected to take that initiative in our education. So I will say learning to be your biggest advocate is really important.
Thank you so much. Another question for Erica. What advice would you give commuter students?
Yeah, so I've been commuting for the past 2 years. I commuted all the way my freshman year, and I've been commuting this whole time for my sophomore year. It was a really huge change for me. I know a lot of people really enjoy driving. I personally don't, but kind of what came along with all of that was time management. As a commuter, our time management looks completely different from somebody that is um, living in the dorms because they're more accessible to the school, they're more accessible to everything that's on campus. Whereas myself, I have to know where I'm supposed to be at certain times. So really getting organized with your time is my biggest tip for anyone that is going to be commuting, knowing how long your drive is, when you're expected to be on campus, so you can really plan accordingly. Kind of another thing also is utilizing the campus resources. One of my biggest resources as a commuter student is the CCC. As Dr. Gabby mentioned, that they have a kitchenette in the CCC, they have spaces for us to study, to rest. That is one of the biggest tools that I use on campus as a commuter student, because as much as I love being in my car and I've made it very comfortable for myself to have things in there, I know that a lot of students really just want space to get out. And since I don't have a dorm on campus, the CCC has made me feel really close to home, although I am not home. Um, and then kind of just another thing that I always like to share with a lot of people is making sure that you keep up with your self-care. There are a lot of friends that you can make on campus at dorm, and they'll tell you a bunch of other different things. But making sure that you plan ahead and you take care of yourself is really important. And another thing, kind of just because I know that parents are currently also on the call as well, is kind of budgeting. This was a new field for me and my family, although finances was one of the biggest things we considered. It wasn't until I actually started commuting that we realized that financing, how much of that commuting is going to take, for example, gas, and then also car problems. Last year I ran into a very unexpected car situation, and it kind of taught me that as a commuter, you kind of really need to plan ahead. But I do recommend to students to not get overwhelmed by that. I know that it's that being a commuter carries kind of that stereotype that we are not as connected. But I'm here to assure you that as my time here at Chapman, I have not felt that way once. I'm still feel very close to the community. I still feel very close to everyone on campus, although I don't dorm here. I still feel very connected to everyone.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your experience. Um, Rusty, what advice would you give transfer students? I know you click the commuter, transfer, first gen box, but we're going to discuss your transfer student experience. What advice would you give for transfer students?
I would say, yeah, transferring. I come from Santa Ana College, and I think that Santa Ana College and Chapman University are very, very, very different. The students that go there are very different. The teachers, just the whole setup. And I was an online student at Santa Ana College, so it was a big culture shock for me, coming and being back in person every day. But I think that it's really like it's not a big difference in curriculum besides being in person. I think that being a transfer student, I have to ensure that I get all of my schooling, all of my requirements for my bachelor's degree done, with less time on campus than people who are here for 4 years. Um, but again, just like Erica said, time management and planning really goes into that. I think that the transfer experience, it's just like being a commuter. I think there's the possibility to feel like you're not fully part of the campus and part of the student body, but I don't personally feel that, and I think that Chapman gives paths to avoiding that, um, as well as just taking advantage of everything available to you. I think that being a transfer student, um, you have a leg up because you have college experience coming onto such a nice campus, where for me, I really saw what I was grateful for because SAC is a nice college, but Chapman, I mean, it's so nice that again, every time I get invited to or see an opportunity to do anything, I know how great it is because of what I've experienced before. Um, and I think that there's a lot of experience that transfer students can bring, and each school is so different that I really enjoy talking to other transfer students and know that Misty and our group trying to find different ways to create a stronger pathway for transfers and to make them feel welcome and as part of this community. I'm hopeful to be a part of that as it continues because We all bring such an individual perspective, and I think first gen commuter transfer, we all make Chapman that community that it is. So yeah.
Thank you. We really do take your experiences and your um, individualized support into consideration. So thank you for sharing that. We have a couple more minutes. I was going to have you all touch on Summer Bridge, but I'm going to jump to the last question. Please share any additional information you have with prospective students. Let's go with Rusty.
So sorry, I didn't want to cut anyone off. Do it. I think that it's really great because this is a good time to ask me right after first gen week, because just hearing first gen people talk about their experience. If you're thinking about coming here, there's a reason. Something drew you towards this. And I think that there is a resource for everything. There is a person who's willing to help you for everything. And that can probably go to a lot of different universities, but there's something special about Chapman that there is a name that will help you. And if they don't know it, they will bring you to another name within a day. It's a quick, that community piece is here. If you're considering coming to Chapman, you probably have good enough grades to not really worry as much about the schooling aspect. And again, I think the secret sauce to success in anything is the community you have around you. And it would be hard for me to imagine any community that is stronger in an educational setting than Chapman. The resources, again, in little over 2 months that I've gotten, it's breathtaking. And I came here for the community and would have never imagined what I've experienced already. So for prospective students, do it. If you have questions, ask them now and take the leap, because the only way you're gonna get it to take advantage of all of these opportunities and get to experience my energy is by showing up next year and or whenever you're planning on coming. So I would say keep coming to these resources if you're questioning it, and if you're close, just say yes, because this is the place.
Thank you so much, Rusty. And Erica, you're going to take it home for us.
Wow, Rusty shared some really good points, but I mean, what I will always share and kind of touch on always is something that I learned the moment that I came to Summer Bridge. I know we didn't get to talk about it in full detail, but this is one of the biggest things that I learned my whole experience with in Summer Bridge, is that no matter how hard anything is, to be always filled with gratitude. Gratitude has brought me a lot to where I am now. I have encountered so many different situations because that's how college is. You will run into a lot of different things, but learning to be filled with gratitude for whatever your situation is probably going to be the most impactful thing that is going to carry you throughout your whole time and wherever you go is my biggest key. For example, like as a commuter student, I know there's just so many like negative insights put on certain things or being in the dorms, but being able to find the good and the bad is always nice. Like as a commuter student, I didn't let that really tear me down in the beginning. I thought that the most positive thing was I get to be with my family, but then I also get to be in school. It's just kind of those little things that you really have to take in account for. And I agree very much with Rusty about taking action, because this is the time to do it now and to always allow yourself to ask for help. I know a lot of students coming in, that's the one thing they don't want to do. High school kind of put us in that transition that asking for help can be too much. But being at Chapman, everybody is here to help you. Nobody is going to turn you away because you ask for help. So knowing that everyone here is willing to help you is probably going to be the biggest thing. So never be afraid to ask for help, and just always advocating for yourself will be key.
Thank you so much. So everyone, we want to thank you for coming. You can follow us on Instagram at Chapman. What is it? Chapman PFP on Instagram. And please do follow us. We'll share our events and our stories of our students with you.
Also, our contact information is on the chat, so if you want to grab it and send us any questions that you might have. We're happy to answer them. Or if you have questions before we part ways, please feel free to drop them in the chat. We want to learn more about you, but again, you have our contact information where you can connect with us anytime you want as you're making your decision to see if you join Chapman. I think this is a fantastic community for you to seriously consider joining. There's a lot of resources. I can't say this enough. If we're not the right office for the support that you need, we will make sure we take you to the right place with the right people that will provide. And if it's even if it's outside of Chapman community, we'll connect you with our local community if that's where the resource is for you. Amelia seems to have a question here. Is there any specific work studies that freshmen do on campus, and should I apply for that now? Student assistant question. I think we have student assistant opportunities throughout the year. I know we hire some for our office for the first gen. We also hire students for the cross-cultural center. Jonathan, if you don't mind sharing or speaking to this particular question, because I know it's part of the financial aid office as well, but I highly encourage all students to keep an eye out, Amelia, and if there's a specific office that you want to work for, connect with them, reach out to them, see if they're hiring. If they're not, they might hire the next semester, or sometimes all of a sudden student for whatever reason can no longer work, there might be a spot available for you. It's who you know a lot of the times, and that they know that you're looking, and so they will make you aware of great opportunities coming up. I know that's how we do with our students. We let them know, hey, we're going to be hiring next semester. Keep an eye open for our posting. If you're interested, submit your application, so on and so forth. But Jonathan, if you don't mind hopping in on this one.
No worries. Yes, there are a lot of work study opportunities for our students, regardless of whether they're first year or sophomore, junior, senior standing. As long as you've received your admittance letter and received, which comes with shortly after a financial aid offer, um, there is federal work study, so that is a need-based financial aid award. So that's based on the financial need of the student. Once you have that, then you can apply for all the federal work study jobs posted under our student employment page. If you do not qualify for federal work study, there are still work study jobs for students available. Okay, and that again, would all those job listings for students will be under the student employment page. You do not have to wait until you start fall semester to start applying. You can start again as soon as you're admitted and you get your financial aid offer. Okay. And it's whatever you're interested in doing. There's tons of availability. We have federal work study jobs or work study jobs in my office, in admissions office, and in a lot of different departments. So find what interests you and apply for it.
But we're the coolest department, though. Sorry, Jonathan.
All right, thank you, everyone. Let us know if you have any questions.